Folks, you know I always bring the heavy hitters here on NoPixAfterDark podcast. I'm so excited to have this group over here that's been doing big things. I've seen them on all the alphabet channels, shows, and networks. Like, who are they? What are they doing? And I reached out a long time ago, but things couldn't make it happen. But now we have TC Prince in the house. Let me tell you something. They are doing big things in Baltimore. We always talk about shop local, help small business. Well, guess what? We got them in the house today, and I want you to learn a little bit more about them. So the next voices you'll hear will be Mallory and Reds, next on NoPixAfterDark podcast.
No Pix After Dark is sponsored by Snug Books, an independent bookstore serving Northeast Baltimore and beyond. In addition to featuring new books for all ages, the store also carries cards, stationery, gifts, games, and more. Visit snugbooks.com to shop online, learn more about the store, read our latest newsletter, and find a calendar of events, or come browse the store in person. Snug Books is located at 4717 Harford Road, next to Zeke's Coffee in Hamilton, Laurelville. There is free parking behind the store, and opening hours are Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Welcome to the NoPixAfterDark podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Dante. You know what we do. We always bring the hot people in. They're doing big things. That's what NoPixAfterDark podcast is talking about positivity, talking to amazing people that are doing amazing things in the community. Before we get started, a little housekeeping. I want to give a shout out to Sagamore Rye. Thank you for partnership. United Way, Central Maryland. Thank you so much. Zeke's Coffee. Thank you so much. And Snug Books. Go check any of these places out. They're doing great things. Local small businesses in the state of Maryland and in Baltimore. Check them out. So, to our main event. I'm excited. I'm nervous talking to you guys. So I'm very excited. Miss Mallory and Mr. Reds from TC Prince. What's going on?
Yeah. What's going on, Aaron? Good to be here, man.
Hey, second time's a charm, right?
Yes, sir.
So thank you guys for coming up to Northeast. I know you guys rolled up from South Baltimore. So I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah, doing
excellent.
Great. Super excited to be here.
Great. And are you guys both from Maryland?
Yep, I'm from South Baltimore and grew up downtown.
Yep, born and raised Southwest Baltimore.
Southwest Baltimore. So where's Southwest Baltimore? Where's
Pride and Monroe. Pride and Monroe.
You know, I'll tell you what, man. When I was younger, I used to go down and get the crabs on Monroe Street.
We had them on every corner.
Yeah, I used to go to the crab spot.
Yes,
My
sir.
grandmother dropped me down to the crab spot,
Yes,
and they were like, "You gotta go to Monroe Street, the best crabs in the
That's
city."
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Big Island of Sea Pride.
Yeah, that was the spot. And I remember on Fridays you couldn't get in there.
Lined all the way around the block.
You know what it is. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
it is. So definitely. And what about you? South Baltimore? We're in South Baltimore.
Yeah, Cross and Riverside.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, nice. So is that what they call that? Federal Hill or something like that?
Yeah,
The
it wasn't
fancy
Federal
way-
Hill when I grew up. Gentrified like crazy, but yeah, that's the spot.
That's the other name, Federal Hill.
Yeah.
When my parents grew up, it was called South Baltimore.
Yeah,
That's what it's
exactly.
called. So it's always good to get to know a little bit about you guys. Let's talk a little bit about TC Prince. How long has it been around? And tell me a little bit about it. Tell us always a little bit about it.
Yeah, so TC Prince is a social enterprise in South Baltimore and Brooklyn neighborhood, and we're a screen printing company. And our whole ploy is to employ men in our community that have been recently released from prison, and also being affected by the impact of generational poverty, addiction, and poor education.
And so how about you? How did you get involved with this?
It was a blessing for me to get involved with this. I'm a member of Streetlight Christian Fellowship. That's the Transformation Center is where we're based at. The Transformation Center is connected to Streetlight. So I was just in the right place in the right time for God to use me the way He's using me, and couldn't be more blessed and excited to be a part of this.
I love it because everybody, I did my homework. And everybody's like, "You're on Love Reds. You're on Love Reds." I'm like, "All right, I'm pumped."
Yep.
So I was a little nervous meeting you because I was like, "This the man, the myth, the legend coming in here."
So that means we're both nervous. So I feel like we're on even ground here.
It's all good. It's all good. So how did this all come about? As far as TC Prince, you said it's been around 2 years, but why did you guys pick this mission? To do this?
So TC Prince is a program out of the Transformation Center, and that's where TC Prince comes from. The T and the C is Transformation Center. So the Transformation Center is basically a community center in Brooklyn. My dad actually started it about 8 years ago, and the whole point of it was to be established in a community where we were seen as part of the community. We didn't want to come in on a random day, to give out some free food and then leave. We wanted to be one with the community, to know that their struggles are our struggles. So we have food and clothing programs where weekly we serve around 150 families every week, giving them food, clothing, necessary items like pet food and diapers and hygiene items. And then we also have homeless services where guests can come in, get a haircut, a shower, fresh pair of clothes, and we eat community style like a family. We also have programs like after school programs and pet vaccine clinics. MedStar comes and does primary care. So TC Prince is just one part of the whole big picture, but it's our newest program that we have at the Transformation Center. So it's really taken off, and it's kind of our baby. We started it together, and it's been really cool to see it flourish.
So I always ask people, like, so family business that ran.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you ever wanted to come back home,
right,
work for mom, dad, whoever it may be? Because I had the opportunity. A lot of listeners don't probably don't know this. My family had a family business also, and it was prosperous, doing very, very, very well. It was located in Park Heights, and I could go over it, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. And looking back, hindsight now, I wish I would have stuck with it and done it.
Right.
What made you like say? Because you went to college.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to do something else.
Yeah.
What made you want to come back home, as I said?
Yeah, I ran from it for a while, for sure. But my parents are like the dopest people you'll ever meet. They have,
yes, they are.
Like the biggest heart. They are the judgmental. Like they are so accepting of all. And when I grew up in South Baltimore, it looked like a community like Brooklyn, and people would be showing up on our doorstep 2-3 a.m., asking for food, needing some sort of resource. And I grew up seeing that. And when I went away to college, I went to school in Florida and Nashville and Tennessee, and thinking I would totally not come back to Baltimore because I wanted a name for myself, right? Like my parents are amazing people, but I kind of wanted to do something for myself. But I came back to Baltimore to do grad school, and I actually interned at the Transformation Center. And I fell in love with the people in Brooklyn and in the South Baltimore community. They're just like some of the realest people you'll ever meet. And that's Baltimore as a whole, right? Like, I think a lot of people, there's like such a facade to them, or, they're just like not real. In Baltimore, whether you like it or not, pretty or ugly, they're going to be real with you. And I just like fell in love with it. I'm like, I couldn't imagine my life anyway else. And it's a privilege to work with my dad and my mom. And my mom runs a child development school still in Federal Hill, but yeah, my dad is the executive director at the Transformation Center, and it's a blessing to work with him for sure.
Okay. What about yourself? What about you?
Oh, and you,
My man right here. Say
my man right here.
For me, I can echo the feelings that she said, because like her family is definitely, they're very very caring, very giving people, and it's an honor and a blessing to work with them. My story's not college and coming back, and my story is I love this city and I love the people in this city, and I know the struggles that a lot of people deal with growing up in this city, and like the passion that I have for the Transformation Center, and particularly TC Prince, is like I've never been as passionate about anything. And to work alongside Mallory and see the passion and the love that she has for the people in that neighborhood, and the business and the purpose of what we're doing at TC Prince, it just makes it all worthwhile. Like there's no other place in the world I would rather be at this point in my life.
You guys about to make me run through this wall. That's how I feel. It's like a pep game, free talk. Like this is really, because that's what's all about. NoPixAfterDark podcast is about community. Yeah, it's about the voices of the unheard, and highlight what people are doing out here. And you guys are walking the walk, talking the talk, and doing amazing things. And that's why it's an honor for me to have you on the show, because I want my audience to listen. I want to go volunteer now. Yeah. Like, sign me up. Let's go volunteer and do some work, because I really like giving back to the community. And however I can do it, that's what we want to do. And I like I said, something. I'm doing some festivals and things this summer, and I would love to get my shirts ran through there and make it happen. Yeah. So hold me to that.
Let's do it.
Hold me to the fire to that, and we'll make it happen, because I think that'd be great to say, this is from Baltimore, this is TC Prince and whatnot. So, folks, we've got a little background. We're going to get a little bit deeper into TC Prince. We'll get a little bit about how the governor got there, United Way's working with them, how busy they are. Let's talk learn about how we can order, learn a little bit more about Red's story, about how we got involved with them, and like training and getting people. How many people are on the team? How many orders are going through a week? When I tried to order, they were like, I'm backed up. I said, do you know I'm no picks? They're like, nah, we don't care who you are. You gotta wait. Nah, I'm joking with you, teasing. But we'll hear back in a couple minutes. We'll talk about all those, and we'll be right back, folks.
Get a sip of the rye.
When you give to United Way, your gift could be the first spark of something bigger. It can help someone find, interview for, and get hired for a job, and provide follow-up services for success. It can break down educational barriers and give that extra help to a struggling student with in-school support programs. Give today. Spark something bigger.
The NoPixAfterDark podcast is fueled by Zeke's Coffee. Have you tried their coffee yet? I'm telling you, there's something different about it. Maybe it's because they roast their beans in a fluid coffee roaster, which provides the most accurate roasting temperatures and made with love. You would just have to check it out for yourself and try their delicious food while you're at it. Open now for curbside service, online ordering, carry out, and they also do wholesale. Visit Zeke's Coffee at 4719 Hartford Road. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, 8 to 5 p.m. Kitchen closes at 3 p.m. or visit Zeke'sCoffee.com and you too can be fueled by Zeke's.
And folks, we are back on the NoPixAfterDark podcast. Again, amazing show. I love these shows. I learned so much about Baltimore and what the magnificent things people are doing here. And we're with Miss Mallory and Mr. Reds. How y'all doing today?
Great.
Y'all having fun so far?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Love
Y'all
it.
got me sweating like a preacher lying on Sunday, okay? So I get some of my sweat bib over here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'm blown away as I talked off camera. Just what you guys are doing out here. Mr. Reds, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your story. How you got involved with TC Press. Like you gave us a little, but give us a little bit about your story.
My story, I guess I'll make it short and sweet. Like I said in the beginning, born and raised in Southwest Baltimore. Man, great family. I had a great mom, great dad, great stepdad. So I had 3 positive adult figures in my life. I would love to be able to use the excuse that I come from a broken family when I started making mistakes, but that's not my story. Straight A student, honor roll, man, appeared on like Kids Baffled game show when I was a kid, like very intelligent kid. Started liking girls at about age 13, and all the girls were hanging out with the cool kids, and the cool kids were experimenting with drugs. And I learned at an early age that I had an addictive personality. I went from smoking weed and drinking a little bit at 13 to being a heroin and cocaine addict by the age of 15. I get emotional when I talk about it. 25 years of my life, everything that comes with the disease of addiction, and anybody that grew up in this area, was affected by this disease somewhere or another. Burnt a lot of bridges in my family, spent a lot of time in prison, rehabs, tried leaving the state, to try to get myself together. 18 years ago, I was invited to church by a dear friend of mine, and November 16th, I celebrated 18 years clean. So it impacted my life. My whole thing is I still have best friends and family members that have been fortunate enough to survive and still be caught up in this disease of addiction, that's still struggling with this disease of addiction. I feel like I found the answer and a relationship with God. I want to tell everybody that I can about that. I feel like it's not me to keep that. It's not my business to keep that private. So being a part of the Transformation Center and seeing all of the people that come through, people that I've been incarcerated with, people that I used to get high with, even family members on occasions that come through there. Like, there's no place in the world I would rather be but there. And that bled into TC Prince. We started it a couple years ago, and that just gives me more of an opportunity to come alongside guys that struggled with the same things that I struggled with, guys that's been recently released from prison or poverty or caught in the grips of addiction, and just gives me more of an opportunity to get more personal with them, have a better relationship with them, and just share the hope that I got, and just like, knowing what hopelessness feels like. There's no greater thing to combat hopelessness with than hope. And I feel like that's what you get when you come through that building, regardless of what you come through that building for, whether it's to be employed at TC Prince or whether it's to volunteer or whether it's to receive, what we give out to the community in Brooklyn. It just all delivers hope. So I'm very, very blessed and very honored to be. I feel like there's no better place to be than where God wants you to be. And I feel like I'm right where he wants me to be right now. So truly, truly blessed to be there.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love that, you want to help others and show them like the better way of doing things. And that's what it's all about, helping each other out, help us understand. And I really appreciate, thank you for telling that story. So how did you get to TC Press? Were you at the Transformation Center first, or then how did it help us merge it all together? How did you figure out you wanted to do this, and then how did you guys find each other to make this happen?
Yeah, so it always had been a goal of ours at the Transformation Center to have some type of employment service and really to teach a trade. A lot of our community members struggle with not just being unemployed, but underemployed. So a lot of people are, in their 40s or 50s at base level jobs. They're still making minimum wage. So we wanted to be able to, teach a trade, but then and do a mentorship component around that, where we're able to fix, the little things like learning how to communicate, and especially people that are returning into the community from being incarcerated. They don't really know how to practice those skills, learning how to be on time and communicate with your boss and to work as a team together. So it had always been a goal of ours, and we had no idea how to do screen printing. We literally bought a screen printing wheel on Facebook Marketplace. We had no idea what we were doing, and but we always knew that Reds was the man for the job. Reds had obviously been involved with us for so long, and just is able to connect with people in our community in a way that others can't. He's lived and experienced the same struggles that a lot of our community members are facing. So we always knew Reds would be the person, but whatever the trade was going to be, we weren't sure yet. So through TC Prince, we started it in October, just learning, right? We bought the wheel. We're Googling how to screen print. It was that bad. But through through just trial and error and YouTube tutorials, and we had another mentor that's in the screen printing industry, and we just kind of figured it out, and we launched it in January 2 years ago.
So when you launched it, who was your first client? How did it go? Think about who was the client, and you're you got a little nervous because it was the first time.
Yeah.
And then screen printing's hard.
Yeah.
And it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know screen printing.
Yeah. Actually, our first customer was someone from the East Side.
Okay.
Yeah, the Potlers. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure they were our first customer. Other than our own branding, the Transformation Center branding. I think I reached out to a couple people on my Instagram. I was like, y'all, I'm literally, it's a shot in the dark, but if you need merch and well, give us feedback of the things you don't like, the things you do like I will give you a discount, the biggest discount.
Where was
I?
Where was I? I need that call now.
Yeah. So a couple of my friends and reached out and were like, yeah, let's do it. So we did a lot of trial and error and definitely a lot of mess ups, and we got some good feedback, and yeah, we're like really, we just said this week we're printing like this really like cool design for actually Ben Franklin High School, and a student actually like drew the design, and it's like a five color logo, and it's like it's super cool, and we're like we're getting pretty good. Yeah, like this is like we would never thought we would do a 5-color logo, so yeah, we've been able to be established in the trade itself and get pretty good.
Now, how many people are on your staff doing the print shop?
Yeah, so we our goal was to really learn the trade well before we brought in guys, because it's such a tedious trade and wanting to build our clientele. We really wanted to focus on knowing what we were doing before we brought in the actual program aspect, because we were kind of doing two things at once. We're learning the trade, but then also developing the mentorship aspect and what the program would actually look like. So we have right now a team of 5, and that includes our sales and our accounting and screen printers. But we had like a little setback, to be honest. Last year we had an employee that was fully going through our program and unfortunately relapsed, and that's the reality of the work that we're in, and it was hard on us. It really was. Like, I'll get emotional, but like we love him to death, and it was definitely a setback for TC Prints because we were really invested, and that was our first guy, that he had just been recently released. We were really pouring into him for like a good year. And unfortunately, yeah, it's just the name of the game. And, our hope is that he comes back around and we are able to give him another opportunity. But yeah, so we actually just hired a new guy. He starts next week, Dre, and we're super, thankful for the opportunity to be able to be invested in his life. He actually is from our community, has been involved in the Transformation Center, and we're able to give him an employment opportunity.
And he's like 20, 21 years old, and that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the biggest impact you're going to have is to touch the lives of the younger generation.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very excited about next week and having this guy come alongside us and just being a part of his life. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, we want to be intentional about who we bring on, because the goal isn't to have X amount of employees and have them all go through the program. Like the work that we're in, it takes being intentional and being invested for a long period of time. And when it's a numbers game, with whether it's being grant funded or the number of impacts, like, yeah, those numbers are great, but like, is it like long lasting? Like, are you really making an impact for eternity? Like, to like, I don't know. I just think like we want to be a small team in the sense of really pour into people because our whole approach at the Transformation Center is holistic. Like, we're not looking to fix one aspect of someone's life. Like, if they're struggling with addiction, they're also struggling to eat probably. They're also probably struggling to find housing. Like, in order to have like true transformation is like what we think is you have to address all aspects of a person's life. So just a 16-week employment program isn't going to do it. So that's what we're
I love learning about this. This is amazing. Like, I mean, thank you again. Thank you for sharing to my audience to hear this, because again, this is very important. We want to help everybody. Yeah. Give people a chance. And that's all about it. Just give a person a chance.
Yep.
And if they're willing to meet you halfway, let's make it happen. So I really appreciate you guys telling the stories about your employment and your employees and really your stories. I mean, that's very powerful. I'm trying to hold myself together because you guys are, knocking out the park today. So tell us a little bit about how did Governor Weston Moore get a hold of you guys? How did this happen?
Yeah. He heard I worked there.
That's what I heard. Sound like it.
But I'll let Mallory tell you the real stuff.
No, so we have a great relationship with United Way, and we do a really big event for Thanksgiving. So it's called Harvest of Hope, and we give 600 families a turkey, 7 side items, and a pie. And all of those side items are meant to be cooked in the home. That way you're in your home, you're being gathered, you know, invite your neighbor, invite your family, instead of coming to like, you know, all of like soup kitchens, they have their purpose, and there's some amazing ones here in Baltimore, but we want to give people the dignity of being able to eat a Thanksgiving meal in their home. So Harvest of Hope is one of our biggest events that we have, and United Way sent some volunteers, and Governor West found out about it, I guess, through United Way. Yeah. One of a person I work with at United Way, Beth, she called me. She's like, I don't know how this connection happened, but Governor West is coming to your event tomorrow. And I'm like, tomorrow? I'm like, okay, I got to go mop the floors, like, and dust everything off. Like, and he is like the most personal guy I have ever met, and especially in like the political realm. Like, yeah, I mean, you should share like your connection that you had with Governor West.
Well, so of course I told him a little of my story. He came up to TC Prince and you know, checked out what we was doing up there, and I introduced myself and told him a little of my story and my passion, and it struck a chord with him. He actually prayed with me. He actually said that, you know, like, man, I won't forget what you're doing here. Like, you know, you guys are amazing. Like, I won't forget you or what you're doing here. It was Martin Luther King's birthday, and he came back to the Transformation Center. It was kind of cool because it was so many people there, and you know, crowded around him and the cameras, and so I'm standing off to the side talking to a friend of mine, and he literally just came through the crowd and was like, hold on, I gotta say hi to this guy. And like, you know, coming from where I come from, like, it was just an honor and a blessing to know that, you know, that this guy just made his way over just to say hi to me and let me know that he didn't forget me and he still appreciates me. And like, I feel like we connected. You know, he's a busy man, and if he happens to be watching this, we'd love to have you back as much as possible. But yeah, he definitely had an impact as being. I pride myself of being a good judge of character. I've been around a lot of shady people, and I can usually see through a lot of BS. Yeah, he don't come across to me at all that way. Very genuine, very good dude.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah,
he's been on a couple times. So.
Nice.
He's despite everything you said, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, from my perspective of dealing with him,
right.
On the interviewing him, I first interviewed him at AFRAM before when he was running.
Yeah,
he was like, I know who you are. I'm like, come on, like really? And then later on that summer in Ocean City, interviewed him again, and so then again it's like he's like, and then every time he's like, I gotta get on your show. I'm like, you got people, man. Your people, my people. We gotta figure this out, you know. But just everything you said, that is totally who he is.
Yeah.
He remembers who people are,
right?
And that's something different. It's something different about him, and very good person. And I'm glad to hear that story because I was supposed to come down on MLK Day, Service Day.
Okay.
It was just a lot of things going on. Like so I missed that second time, but I was like, you know what? Let me bring him over here. Now I'm gonna come. I promise you guys here, I'm coming down there. So it won't be no camera. It's just gonna be me coming down because I want to experience it and understand what you guys have going on.
Yeah.
So I truly appreciate that, and I appreciate that United Way has worked with you guys. Again, they partner with me, so just want to get that disclaimer out there. United Way. What do you guys hope for TC Prince the next couple of years? What do you guys hope to see? As far as, like, you know, you guys are part of the inception. What do you guys hope to see going forward with this company?
Change a life. Like, I feel like if we can impact one life, then all the blood, sweat, literally blood, sweat, tears, suicide thoughts, like everything that came with getting this business to where it is now, like if we impact one life, and I know that we will, like, then it's all worth it to me. So impacting 1,000 lives would be a bonus, but I would be absolutely satisfied with impacting and changing one person that comes through them doors' lives. So
yeah, I totally agree. I think we've been blessed with a new wheel. We are able to do 10 shirts at a time and 10 colors at a time. So now we have 2 wheels to where we are able to bring on more guys where we feel really established in the trade itself. We're in a really good spot for the mentorship aspect. So yeah, I just like more guys to come in and just be given an opportunity. Like you said previously, like Baltimore has so many talented people that have been untapped because they haven't been given an opportunity. And I think that's the story of a lot of people that we're trying to reach. So yeah, just give an opportunity, print more shirts. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And where can people gonna want to know, don't even worry where the mics are, but people are gonna know, where can we get on, where are you guys on TikTok? Are you on all these social media? Where can they find you? What's your email, your website?
Yeah.
Ordering, all that stuff. How does that all work?
Yeah, so www.tcprints.tc. Super easy to remember. Okay. And that's all of our socials too, TC Prints. But yeah, reach out to us. Happy to order. Our first year, we printed like 4,000 items. Last year, we printed over 14,000. And this year, we're
over 3,000 already.
We've already printed like 3,200 items just in these last couple weeks.
By we, she means me.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm out there sometimes. But
Hey.
But yeah, so just more shirts, more people, more impact. That's what we're about.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. Folks, you heard it here. Straight, raw, unapologetic, intentional. What a great story. And I'm honored to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much for your time. When I tell people that you can't get time back, let's make use of time wisely. And thank you for telling your story. And I can't wait to see the future, because we're going to bring it back, because I know when I do these festivals and stuff this summer, I'd love to have you guys on to talk about the shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And say, hey, this is the people who made it, and you go shout them out. So thank you guys for coming on the show.
Aaron, thank you for having us, man. We appreciate it.
Man, this is a show. I'm the guest. I'm watching. Yeah, this is y'all's show. I'm the guest.
We taking over.
You guys taking over. Have it. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Folks, love, peace. We're out.